Have you ever wondered why some people earn a lot of money but still live in constant worry, while others with far fewer resources seem to walk through life with unshakable peace? The answer is not in how much they have, but in how they manage it, and more importantly, where they've placed their trust. For centuries, the Bible has revealed financial principles that have transformed the lives of both everyday people and powerful leaders. Yet many continue to ignore these simple but life-changing habits. In a world that's drowning in debt, anxiety, and endless comparison, God doesn't want you to live enslaved by money. He wants you to walk in peace, purpose, and abundance. And this doesn't happen by chance or magic tricks, but through consistent habits built on biblical wisdom. In today's video, we'll explore 5 daily habits from the Bible that can completely reshape not only your finances, but also your relationship with money and the purpose God has for your life. Stick with us until the end, because the last habit may break invisible chains that have blocked your prosperity for years. Every minute of this message could be the seed that changes your financial future forever. Did you know that there are people who earn a lot of money and still live worried about tomorrow? Meanwhile, others with limited resources seem to walk with unshakable peace and confidence. The difference isn't in how much they have, it's in how they manage it and in whom they've placed their trust. For centuries, the Bible has revealed financial principles that have transformed the lives of ordinary people and influential leaders. Yet many still ignore these simple but powerful habits. We live in a time of instant gratification, anxiety about the future, and constant comparisons. We feel overwhelmed by debt and pressured by expectations that never seem to be fulfilled. But here's the truth: God doesn't want you to be enslaved by money. He wants you to live with purpose, peace, and abundance. And that doesn't come from shortcuts or magical formulas. It comes from habits rooted in biblical wisdom. Some people believe that to prosper financially, you need a high income or extraordinary skills. But the truth is, transformation begins with small daily steps, habits that anyone can adopt. It won't be easy at first. There will be days filled with doubt and frustration. But every small effort brings you closer to a stable and blessed financial life. In this video, we'll explore 5 daily habits based on biblical principles that can transform not just your finances, but also your relationship with money and God's purpose for your life. At Messiah Speaks, we share principles that don't just inform, they transform lives. And pay close attention. The final habit has the power to break invisible chains that may have been blocking your prosperity for years. Stay with us until the end, because every minute can be a seed that transforms your life forever. In a world where every financial decision can feel like a leap into the unknown, starting your day by dedicating your finances to God is like turning on a light in the darkness. Many people begin their mornings with their minds overloaded with worry, unpaid bills, piling debt, financial dreams that seem out of reach. But there is indescribable power in setting aside just a few minutes each morning to place everything in God's hands. Prayer is not just a religious ritual, it's a direct connection to the one who has total control over all things. In that moment of surrender and stillness, the heart finds peace, the mind becomes clear, and the best decisions begin to take shape. Mexican businessman Carlos Slim, one of the most successful men in the world, has mentioned on several occasions that before making important decisions, he turned to prayer and spiritual guidance. Regardless of his business strategies or financial planning, this habit stayed with him throughout his journey. It wasn't just about numbers or projections. It was a regular practice of reflection and divine consultation before every crucial move. Each day, before checking important emails, making an investment decision, or entering a tough negotiation, take a moment to pause, breathe, and pray. The anxiety that eats away at us when we look at our unpaid bills doesn't disappear with more worry. It only fades when we understand that God not only cares about our finances, He wants to be an active part of our financial decisions. This is both a spiritual and practical alliance. We do our part, and God guides us with wisdom to identify opportunities and avoid pitfalls. For many, the morning routine starts in autopilot: social media, depressing news, a rushed cup of coffee, and a constant feeling of running late. But can you imagine how your life would change if every morning began with a moment of surrender and a prayer that says, "Lord, bless my work, my decisions, and my ability to manage the resources you've entrusted to me"? It's not just about asking for blessings. It's about asking for discernment so that every dollar has a clear purpose. Money without purpose disappears quickly. How many people earn good incomes but have no idea where their salary went by the end of the month? This happens because their finances were never placed in the hands of the true owner, God. When we start our day with a mindset of dependence and gratitude, we learn to value every resource, avoiding waste and impulsive decisions. Dedicating your finances daily isn't just a symbolic act. It's an act of active faith. It's boldly declaring, "Lord, I trust you as my provider and my guide." It's replacing fear with faith, anxiety with trust, and impulsiveness with wisdom. And most of all, it's recognizing that every resource we possess is a divine gift, and we are responsible for managing it with gratitude and integrity. Carlos Slim's financial success was partly built on this spiritual habit, seeking guidance through prayer before taking significant actions. That seemingly small habit made a monumental difference in the outcomes of his decisions, because when God is in charge, the path always becomes clearer. In a world obsessed with instant results, few people understand the power of small, daily actions. Sowing financially each day isn't about suddenly accumulating large sums of money. It's about developing a consistent and disciplined habit that over time produces abundant fruit. A small daily saving, a modest but consistent investment. These are like seeds that may seem insignificant at first, but with time, grow into tall trees that offer shade and fruit. God honors discipline and consistency far more than big, impulsive efforts. In the Bible, Joseph in Egypt is a clear example of this principle. During the years of abundance, he didn't just enjoy the resources available. He stored and wisely managed every grain of harvest. His vision wasn't just focused on the present, it looked ahead to the uncertain future that was coming. So, when the years of famine arrived, Egypt didn't just survive, it prospered. Because Joseph understood the importance of sowing during times of abundance in order to reap in times of need. In modern times, Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, has demonstrated that sowing financially is not a one-time act, but a daily commitment. From a young age, Buffett began saving small amounts and reinvesting his profits consistently. He didn't build his fortune overnight. It came through years of discipline, smart decisions, and the mindset of a sower who knows that every tiny seed holds enormous potential. But sowing financially doesn't only mean saving or investing. It also means avoiding unnecessary spending. How many times does money disappear on small pleasures or habits that bring no real value? That subscription you never use. That daily coffee you could make at home. Those impulsive purchases that seem harmless but, by the end of the month, add up to a significant amount. God calls us to be good stewards, not to waste what He has placed in our hands, no matter how small it may seem. The power of daily saving doesn't lie in the amount, it lies in the consistency. Someone who saves $1 a day might not seem to be doing much, but over time, that small act becomes the foundation for solid financial stability. The Bible says, "Sow your seed in the morning, and don't let your hand rest in the evening." This doesn't just refer to work. It's about the constant care and stewardship of our resources. However, sowing financially also requires the right mindset. It's not enough to save money if your heart is filled with fear, greed, or hopelessness. Each small act of saving or investing must be accompanied by a prayer. Lord, bless the seeds I'm sowing, multiply them for your glory. Because when God is involved in your finances, even the smallest seeds can grow into abundant harvests. Joseph didn't store grain out of fear. He did it with vision and divine wisdom. Warren Buffett didn't build his empire out of luck. He understood that every small saving was an opportunity to grow. Today, each of us has the chance to sow financially every single day. It doesn't matter if it's a lot or a little. What matters is that you don't let a single day go by without planting something that can grow in the future. In a world where knowledge is just a click away, information is one of the most valuable assets a person can have. But it's not about hoarding data or reading dozens of books. It's about sowing small doses of wisdom every day with intention and purpose. The difference between those who prosper and those who stay stuck isn't always their financial resources. It's their willingness to learn and apply what they learn. Each day is a chance to grow, to discover something new, to strengthen your skills and make better financial decisions. In the Bible, Daniel and his friends are a powerful example of this habit. Even in the hostile environment of Babylon, where they were expected to abandon their beliefs and adopt foreign customs, they dedicated themselves to daily study and learning. Their commitment to knowledge and wisdom didn't just set them apart, it positioned them in places of influence and authority. Daniel didn't become a respected man by accident. He got there through disciplined learning and wise application. Today, we have more access to knowledge than ever before, but it's also easy to get distracted by shallow content. To sow knowledge today means dedicating time each day to learning about finances, entrepreneurship, or personal growth. You don't need endless hours. 15 minutes a day is enough to read a chapter of a book, listen to an audiobook on your way to work, or watch an educational video. If you want to learn about financial prosperity, the playlists on Messiah Speaks are full of teachings that can transform your view of money. But remember, knowledge without action is like a seed never planted. Many people collect facts, stats, and advice, but never put them into practice. Learning is not enough if there's no transformation. Every lesson you receive, every principle you discover, should show up in your daily decisions. What good is learning about saving if you never apply it to your budget? What good is hearing about investing if you never take the first step? God gives us the chance to learn, not just to be smarter, but to be wiser and more effective in how we manage what He's given us. If you feel like you need support through prayer, if something is blocking your path to understanding, or if you're facing a financial challenge, leave your prayer request in the comments. We truly believe that God can open doors, clear minds, and break chains when we come together in faith and prayer. You're not alone. We're here to walk with you because knowledge is a powerful seed, and when you sow it daily, it produces fruit that lasts for generations. Daniel and his friends weren't content with basic knowledge. They sought excellence in their learning, and you can do the same. Every day is a new opportunity to learn something that brings you one step closer to the financial life God has prepared for you. Financial success is not the result of luck, nor does it come only from prayer and good intentions. Although faith is essential, God honors those who work with excellence and perseverance every day. Sowing into your job or business doesn't simply mean completing your daily tasks. It means doing them with purpose, dedication, and a spirit that reflects your commitment to God and to yourself. Every small effort, Every well-executed task, every step taken with determination is a seed that will, sooner or later, bear fruit. In the Bible, Nehemiah stands out as a remarkable example of this principle. Despite facing opposition and constant challenges, he worked tirelessly to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. He didn't do it sporadically or only when he felt inspired. He did it day after day with unwavering discipline and faith. Nehemiah didn't allow fear, exhaustion, or criticism to stop him. He knew that every brick laid was one step closer to his goal. In the same way, every small daily effort you invest in your job or business brings you closer to your financial goals. In today's world, the story of Howard Schultz, founder of Starbucks, reflects this same principle. Schultz didn't build his global empire overnight. He invested time daily into improving his products, strengthening his team, and expanding his business vision. Every day was an opportunity to sow something new, refine a strategy, connect with more customers, or strengthen his mission. Schultz understood that growth doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of a daily commitment to excellence. But sowing into your work or business doesn't always mean doing something grand. Sometimes the small details are what truly make the difference. Posting valuable content on social media, sending a thoughtful message to a client, reviewing your workflow to find areas of improvement, training yourself in a new skill. Each of these actions is a seed, and even if you don't see immediate results, each one is building something greater. God blesses consistent effort and diligence in the small things. The problem is, many people expect instant rewards. They post something once, improve their service for a day, and if nothing changes right away, they give up. But true growth is silent and gradual. The walls of Jerusalem weren't rebuilt in one day, and Starbucks didn't become a global giant overnight. Every day counts, every small effort matters, every seed sown has value. Moreover, sowing in your work or business isn't just about earning more money or achieving financial goals. It's also a matter of character and purpose. When you work with dedication, you reflect a work ethic that honors God. Your clients, co-workers, and collaborators will see something different in you, someone who doesn't work just for money but for a higher purpose, someone who understands that their work is an extension of their faith. Nehemiah had a clear goal: to rebuild the walls of his city. Howard Schultz had a vision: to create a unique experience for every customer. And you, what vision drives you? What walls are you rebuilding in your professional life? What experience are you offering through your business? Every day, every hour, every small action is an opportunity to sow something that will last. We live in a time where everything seems designed to make us feel like we're never enough. Social media floods us with images of dream vacations, luxury cars, and seemingly perfect lifestyles. And without realizing it, we start measuring our own financial success by comparing it to what others have, or worse, what they appear to have. But daily contentment is not resignation or lack of ambition. It's learning to see what we already have as a blessing from God and recognizing that true financial peace starts with a grateful heart. The Apostle Paul expressed this clearly in Philippians 4:11. I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. Paul didn't write those words from a place of comfort. He wrote them from a prison cell. His contentment didn't depend on his external circumstances. It came from an inner trust that God was in control. In the same way, your level of financial peace should not depend on how much money you have in your bank account. It should depend on your ability to recognize that God has provided exactly what you need for this moment. The problem comes when we confuse contentment with complacency. It doesn't mean we shouldn't dream, plan, or work for a better life. On the contrary, God calls us to be good stewards and to have healthy ambitions, but contentment protects us from falling into the endless cycle of comparison and consumerism. Let's be honest. How many times have we spent money we didn't have on things we didn't need just to impress people we didn't even care about? Constant dissatisfaction also leads us to make impulsive financial decisions, that unnecessary purchase, that trip we really couldn't afford, that loan that seemed like a good idea in the moment. Each of those financial mistakes is born from a restless heart and a mind clouded by comparison. But when we learn to live with contentment, we find freedom. Freedom from unnecessary debt. Freedom from anxiety about the future. Freedom to enjoy what God has already given us. And speaking of freedom, there's something powerful about declaring by faith what we believe. Words have a direct impact on our hearts and minds, and a declaration of contentment can break invisible chains that have held us back. So right now, write this prophetic declaration in the comments. My heart is full of gratitude, and my finances are blessed. Daily contentment is also a spiritual practice. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not automatic. It's a daily decision. It's choosing to see blessings before you focus on lack. It's celebrating small progress instead of obsessing over what's missing. When we live with contentment, we don't just manage our finances better, we enjoy life more. Because money can buy many things, but it will never buy peace in your heart. And when it comes to cultivating contentment, prayer is a powerful tool. Because contentment doesn't always come naturally. Sometimes we need to ask God to help us see the blessings that are already right in front of us. Maybe you're struggling with comparison. Maybe you're feeling financial frustration or anxiety about the future, but today, you can bring all of that before God. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for the blessings you've placed in my life. Help me to see what I already have with a grateful heart. Keep me from being led by comparison or consumerism. Teach me to manage my resources with wisdom and to find contentment in every season of life. Amen. Applying these 5 daily habits based on biblical principles is not about following routines. It's a lifestyle grounded in faith and trust in God. Each habit we've shared here is not just financial advice. It's an opportunity to transform your life at the root, because when you pray for your finances, so daily invest in knowledge, work with excellence, practice daily contentment, you're not just managing money, you're building a legacy of blessing. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. When you apply these principles, you're not only aligning your actions with God's will, you're also creating a positive impact on those around you. If there's something weighing on your heart, if you're facing financial challenges, leave your prayer request in the comments. We believe that God hears us and that he has the power to open doors where there seem to be none. And don't forget to write this prophetic declaration in the comments. My heart is full of gratitude and my finances are blessed. It's not just a phrase, it's a seed of faith planted in your financial life. May God bless you abundantly in your finances, in your home, and in every dream he has placed in your heart.